You're in your new studio.
Yeah,
That wall looks so good behind you.
doesn't it? Yeah, man. I This is the first day of production. I mean, I literally moved furniture in over the weekend, and I knew this was coming, so I thought this would be a great test.
Yeah.
I still need to put a shade on the window that's making that thing right there in the
Hmm.
background, but it's not here yet. I've ordered it. And there's stuff going on, but it's pretty cool. I mean, the room is better than my talent, that's for sure.
Space to grow is that what we call that, I think.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so we're gonna share our bags today, and we're gonna go more in depth on this and our desk setups on next week's MPU. But we
Yeah.
thought we'd do a little teaser here. And David, I have a surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
For
I like
years,
surprise.
for years, you've been after me about the Waterfield bags, which I think is what you've carried for a long time.
Uh-oh.
And about every 6 months, I just go to their website and I look around. And I noticed they had a new line that was less Indiana Jones. So that really works for
Yeah.
you. It's not really my vibe. So for about 2 weeks, I've been using the one of the new Waterfields, which is
Ah.
constructed super well. It uses this kind of the same construction methods they use, but it's all black. It's like the black sort of nylon.
Yeah.
Not
Steven,
so.
they've been doing that for like ever. You could always get the Indiana Jones version
Yeah,
or the ballistic black. They've always had that. So
yeah,
you're good.
yeah. So this is one of their newer bags. I forget the name of it, but I thought we could walk through it, but show people what you've got.
All right. I do as well have the Waterfield bag. This is one that they actually sent me about a year ago. I've been meaning to do a review of it forever, and I haven't yet. But I really like this bag for a couple of reasons, just to kind of start off. It's got a water bottle holder on each side, and it's got one on each side, so I can stuff with that. The thing I do most with these bags is I go off to Disneyland and day trips. Like I go up and hang out with my daughter at UCLA or go down to Anaheim. And so I wanted kind of like a nice, easy day bag that stores a lot but isn't like overwhelming. I tried one of those Peak Design bags, which is great, but they're kind of like it's a thing, whereas
Yeah.
this just feels like a bag. And one of the things I love most about this bag is the latch. It's got a magnetic sliding latch. Can you see that? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes side, but then when you want to close it, you just leave it there, and it just magnetically closes on its own. So I really like that. I mean, it's one of the newer latches I've seen on Waterfield bags. They don't come up apart by pulling it. You got to slide it to open it.
That's
So
cool.
then it closes with a latch. Like all Waterfield bags, they have the gold liner on the inside, which I think makes
Yeah.
it a lot easier to find stuff on the inside. They're well made, they've got a nice handle. Also on the back, they've got the luggage thing
Hmm.
here, so you can slide in with your luggage, but it also absorbs your sweat. And they're just well made bags, good zippers. The first Waterfield bag I bought was I went to the very first time I went to Macworld, so let's say 2009ish, and I saw somebody with one, and I thought that's really cool, so I bought
Hmm.
one. Since I've given that one away, and that one is still in use. I mean, they're great bags. They last a long time. So this is the Waterfield commercial portion of our. All right.
Yeah.
Which one did you get?
Yeah, so mine is the Waterfield Essential. Waterfield Designs is in the chat, by the way. So hello, Waterfield.
All
Not
right.
not planned on our part. Um,
Yeah.
but it is the Essential line, so it's all black, which I like, but it does retain the gold interior.
Yeah.
And why that's important, I think, is so you can see down in the bag, right? If the
Yeah.
interior is black or dark and you're fishing around for stuff, it's just hard to see. And
Yeah.
so I've had a bunch of different bags over the years, but I'm always excited about a bright interior color, and I think that it is really nice looking. I mean, it's got a nice um, it kind of reminds me of like a honeycomb pattern. Maybe that's the color speaking to me more than
Yeah.
anything. But
Yeah.
it's really easy to spot stuff even down in the bag or inside like the interior pocket, which uses the same fabric inside because I mean not a lot of light is getting in there, and so you can see things pretty easily.
Now, do you have one pocket or two in yours?
Yeah, so mine is so it's got one pocket on the front here, and this pocket on the front is just one big pocket, which I like. I really don't like
Yeah,
bags that micromanage where you put things.
yeah.
And then on the inside, there's a laptop compartment, and then one smaller interior pocket that sits on the front, so it sits like kind of right here on the inside.
Okay, so mine has got a little more. The thing I was talking about in the interior is I've got a top pocket. This is perfect for a MacBook Air, 14-inch MacBook Pro. I don't think a 16-inch MacBook will fit in this. But then it's got a separate like laptop pocket.
Okay.
So if you roll with both a Mac and an iPad, which I sometimes do, this bag will accommodate you, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
If not, then I use the big one for like papers, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
put the iPad in the smaller one. There is a front bag inside here, a little zippered bag,
Yeah.
and then you got a pocket. The other nice thing this one has, and most of the SF bags or the Waterfield have these, is they've got a little lanyard on the
Mm-hmm.
inside, so you can hang stuff. I don't know if yours has that or not, but I'll
Yeah.
put the card key on here. I've got the air tag and a little tiny flashlight, so I've already started sharing what's in my bag. But
Yep.
I don't
AirTag
know. I just really liked it.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. This is the again being in the bag for Waterfield. Like to see how I did that.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
This is their AirTag little
Oh,
thing. It's
nice.
again my Indiana Jones aesthetic. I just replaced the battery in this, by the way.
Yeah.
Very easy to replace a battery in an AirTag, and I love having that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And the
right?
batteries are easy to get a hold of. They're like the CR like 1032 or something,
30,
like
32s. Yeah,
32s. Yeah, I
yeah.
just went to Walgreens and bought like a pack of 3 or something, and it was easy.
Pro tip: take a Sharpie and write AirTag batteries on it before you put it away.
That's good.
If you buy a pack of them.
Yeah. Yes. So this one, the construction's a little bit different, where you've got just one of these back pockets, and it has a Velcro strap. And I've got my M2 MacBook Air in here, and it would fit a 14-inch. I don't think a 16 would fit in here very well. I think it'd be pretty close to the corners.
Yeah,
But if this is wide enough where if you had it, like if I had my iPad, I have it in here. It's just loose in here, but I could slide it in there
yeah,
with the laptop, and I think
yeah,
it would be. I think it'd be fine. And I like the
yeah,
Velcro strap. But my favorite thing about this bag, David, is that it sits up on its own. It's
yeah,
been so long since I've had a backpack that will sit upright, even when it's not full of stuff. It's just such
yeah,
a nice feature.
yeah. Well, I have a couple of these. I also have one that I just use in the house. I call it the upstairs downstairs bag, where I keep like journals and stuff. And but this is the one. This is my primary bag, and I take anywhere I go. Good straps, very comfortable. You know, the cushioning in the straps is
Hmm.
right, and I think they make quality stuff. You know, and that's why I've been a fan of theirs and bought and gifted many of their things over the years. But that's the bag itself. You want to start going through the stuff we have in it?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. I'm going to start with my front pocket. I
Okay.
already teased it, but on the lanyard, I keep an air tag, but I also keep a little tiny flashlight. And you'd be shocked how often you have a use for this. Years ago, somebody gave me an REI a gift card for Christmas, and
Hmm.
I thought, well, what am I going to buy at REI? And this stupid little flashlight cost me like $30. It was very expensive for something this small, but it's remarkably bright. And often I'm out with my bag and find a use for my flashlight. And
Hmm.
it's just having a nice little one is great. Runs on a single battery. I'll get a link for it if I can. I don't know if I can get the exact light. This one is made by Phoenix LD01. And like I said, the AirTag holder is also from Waterfield.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got an air tag on the lanyard as well. I'm just using one of the Belkin
Mhm.
ones.
Yeah,
And then that's a key to something that I don't. I only need this key if I have my backpack, so it
yeah,
just stays on here. I've got my AirPods Pro, the new ones, on a
yeah,
lanyard. I don't walk or run with the case, but I put the lanyard on here so it's easier to find the AirPod case. If it's like, I don't know about you, but I'll set them down on like the kitchen counter and then they'll get covered
Yeah.
with something else. It's like, well, now they have a big red tail that I can look for. And
And that's the one with the with the Find My in it, so you can
yeah,
also make it ring for you, which is
which is really cool. So I've got the AirPods Pro up here, and then I've got it's a Minix multi-charger.
yeah.
This is
Is
one
that
of
one of those GAN chargers?
uh-huh. And so it's
Yeah.
got two USB-C and one USB-A. So I have Lightning, USB-C, and Apple Watch. So if I'm traveling, this is all I need, and it just takes up one plug. If you're in a hotel or an Airbnb, especially
Yeah.
if you're staying with like your spouse or family or something, there's never enough plugs. And what I like about this, and I guess it's the magic of GAN, is that that's really not much bigger than like the 10-watt Apple charger they shipped with the iPad forever, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
very big. Now
Yeah.
it's heavy, but and I keep it all velcroed together. So like if say that I'm going on vacation in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
if I'll probably take the backpack, but if I don't, I can reach in and get this, and then have all I need for my charging.
I've been thinking about that. Like maybe I should have like a separate gear bag in the bag,
Mm-hmm.
where you could like make that portable, but I haven't done that yet. Now, is that also a battery or is that just a charger?
It's just a charger. I do.
Oh, well, let me show you something. Show you something. For not much bigger, Anchor makes this, and I should have all the names written down, and I don't. The GAN Prime, and this is first a charger, so a 100-watt charger, I believe, and it's got two USB-C and one USB-A, but it's also like I think a 10,000 milliamp battery.
Oh, that's cool.
I just got this before we took our last vacation, and I am totally sold. It's just a little bit heavier than a portable battery, but it's also a charger. So this is a good one.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'll get you a link for that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're recording the show tomorrow. We got plenty of time.
Okay, and then this is just related. This is my cables.
Yeah.
I've got just a USB-C and a Lightning, and then I have somewhat related. I actually got that up here. In fact, I told you about this on the show years ago. This is just a really cool little USB, and this was made by a Satichi, and I don't even know if they make anymore, but it's a USB-C port on one end and a Apple Watch charger on the other end.
That's cool.
So I can just plug that into this thing if I need. So that's my charging rig.
That is cool. And the new AirPods Pro will charge on the Apple Watch charger, which is a nice trick.
Steven, everybody loves the new AirPods Pro, and
Yeah.
I have the old ones. What am I gonna do?
I don't know. Well, you got a fancy orange watch there, so I think you're
Yeah, I do.
you're in good shape. Last thing I have in this front pocket is just the MagSafe battery pack. That's
Yeah.
fine. Like, I mean, it's nice if you're in a hurry, but I keep it topped off and I keep it in my bag. And
Yeah, I wanna argue with you on that. I think it's better than fine. I mean, like if you walk around, you can stick that in your jeans pocket.
That's
like,
true.
Like trip to a theme park for a day or something. It's a great way to keep you charged. We like ours so much that my wife and I are constantly sharing it. Like today, she had to go up to LA for something, and it was not in my bag because she's using it today. But
yeah,
I almost feel like we need a second one because we like it so much.
maybe so. Yeah, we've got two. Mary's got one as well, but she's on the 13 mini, and so a little more necessary for her.
Yeah.
So on the inside pocket, so again, this bag has a front kind of pocket here. I've got just a couple of things. This is really a holdover that is moved from bag to bag. So this is a set of wired earbuds with both a Lightning and a USB-C adapter in them. In case I really put this in here kind of pre-AirPods even. I feel like this could probably...
I say, when's the last time you used it?
It's moved several times. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the stack to not put back in the bag.
Okay.
I got a pile over there. A Sharpie and some pins, and then I keep a USB-C to USB-A adapter in here. I have more dongles in here we'll get to, but I keep one of these that's just like really easy, quick access. Because if you're out and about or you're, look, a lot of this is holdover from we used to do live shows, and I think we're gonna do some next
Yeah,
year. But
yeah,
perpetually in need of like just one more of these, so I keep this one separate from the other dongles, easy to get to.
makes sense.
And then in the main pocket, again, this stuff could go in with the MacBook, I think. But I've got my my Kindle, which normally lives on my bedside table. I put it in here because if I travel, it's with me. And then
Yeah.
my iPad Mini, which is just a fantastic little iPad, and I've been really happy with it over the last year.
What? But why do you carry a Kindle and an iPad Mini? Because there is a Kindle app,
Yeah, I
you could
don't.
just keep.
I don't like reading on the iPad for long stuff.
Okay.
I prefer e-ink for reading books.
They just announced a new Kindle that has pencil support. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did see that. Yeah, the Scribe. It's like a 10-inch screen, so it's big.
Yeah.
But I haven't pre-ordered, but I'm definitely interested in seeing what the reviews say about that.
I I saw I put the link in OmniFocus and said start date in a month. I don't want to think about that right now.
There you go.
The other thing I forgot to mention a couple things. So the pockets, the water bottle. This is a new one I got. This is from Quirk Circle. It was at the Disney D23 celebration. This is
Mhm.
supposed to be themed like the Boba Fett.
Yeah, it
I don't
looks
know if you can
awesome.
tell Boba Fett colors. But I just wanted one where it had the valve, the kind of
Mhm.
sippy straw pokes up, because the one I had before was a screw on, and a couple times I didn't screw it down right, and things got wet. So I'm trying this. This is a new one for me, and I do like to use my bag walking around Batu. It's at Disneyland. I want it to fit in. I felt like that kind of fit in. The other thing I say about this pocket is it's good at holding a lightsaber. Just saying.
Perfect.
Um, and
Perfect.
then in this pocket, I keep, because we do a lot of photography on our trips. This is the Glyph package. It's a Glyph holder for your phone. Holds any phone, any case, whatever. And then they've got this little wooden handle.
Hmm.
And the wooden handle is kind of funny because uh, one of the reasons I got it was because when you go to places like Disneyland, they don't want you to bring selfie sticks. They're afraid someone's gonna like lift it up on a ride and injure someone or break something. So they're totally freaked out about selfie sticks, and they don't know what to think about this wood handle when I go through security. Every time I go through security, they're like, what is that? Is that a weapon? Is that a selfie stick? I'm like, it's wood. It's solid. I'm not sure what more I could do for you to convince you this is not a selfie stick. But it is a weird thing. But I do like, kind of like, because I use it a lot when we're walking around, I just keep it right here in this pocket.
Yeah.
And then a related bit of stuff I have in here is this little microphone, and this one is from Shure, and it's a Lightning port microphone,
Oh,
and it
cool.
just plugs into your Lightning port. It is really good. I mean, it's shocking how good it is at isolating noise if you want to shoot video. Now, a lot of times it's better to have like a little lav and a wireless thingy if you're far away from the camera. But for kind of like vlog style stuff,
Hmm.
this is great. The only downside to it is the little stub is not long enough to have it on with a case. So you got to take your case
Okay.
off if you're going to use it.
Okay.
But my usual rig is I stick my phone in here, I stick the microphone, I can point it forward or backward depending on what I'm doing. And that's all I need really to shoot pretty good video.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, about the directionality of the microphone. So that's cool.
It's there, and it rotates too, so you can like rotate it if you want. But I generally point it at the subject or myself, and that's
Right.
where like having a more if I need like if I'm conversing with someone, it's better to just take it out
Yeah.
because the microphone in the iPhone, like at the D23 convention, I did a video where I talked to one of the Imagineers about something he was doing, and I happened to have this plugged in. So I kept like, as I was talking to the guy, I kept spinning the phone, just kind of trying to get the microphone pointed at him,
Hmm.
and the video is really weird because it's like I'm pointing at random things, and if I had the foresight, I would have yanked it out before we started talking. But the conversation kind of happened without me expecting it, so
Hmm.
there you go. But it's this is a very small bit of kit to throw in your bag
Yeah.
if you want to shoot better video, and not even just like vlogging stuff. If you want to do like a family video or
Hmm.
see Uncle Uncle Jim and talk to him about the time he got arrested for not wearing pants. You just put this in your bag and you're good.
It's a very specific example.
But that actually
Lord,
happened in my family. I found an article about one of my great uncles who got arrested for not wearing pants. So
sweet.
yeah, it made the paper
Yeah.
in Kirksville, Missouri.
Yeah, so I keep a water bottle. I'm currently using a relay one that we made for relay people last year. In the bottom of the bag, I do keep sort of a dongle pouch.
Okay, look out.
Yeah, and so in here I've got the charger. So like on this side, I've got the charger for the MacBook Air, and
Yeah,
then on the other side is just a bunch of like adapters and cables, and it's basically stuff like, oh, I've needed to use this one time, so it ended up in the bag. Now some stuff doesn't live in here all the time. So like this Cam Link, which is like a USB HDMI input device.
that's what I'm
This
using right now.
Yeah, we ran the whole podcastathon through mine because theirs was freaking
Okay,
out, and so I just need to take it back out and put it where it goes. Um,
yeah,
I keep uh, card reader in here. So this is a CF Express and SD card reader because my new big camera uses CF Express A cards, which are really fast and nice. I could
yeah,
just use a USB C cable and like plug the camera directly in, but I kind of like having a card reader. And
yeah.
then the rest of this is just kind of what you would expect. I was on the 14-inch MacBook Pro, and I got rid of some of the stuff, right? Because it had HDMI, it had an SD card slot, but I gave that to my wife, and I went to the M2 MacBook Air, which I absolutely adore. And so some
Yeah.
of those adapters made it back into my bag because I was giving up some ports going to the smaller notebook.
Well, I need to make one of those tech bags. That's like on my list because I
Yeah.
don't have one. And I don't think I would carry it with me every day. Like
Hmm.
going up to Westwood or to Anaheim or whatever, I'd
Yeah.
probably leave it home. But I think like when you're getting ready to go on a trip or even just away for a few days, having one bag that has a chargers and dongles and whatever you
Yeah.
need, like I think that would be a good idea. And I just need to think it through.
Yeah.
Um,
What's nice about
uh,
it, like the MagSafe adapter that's in here, it only lives
yeah,
in here, right? So I have one
yeah,
at my desk where the
yeah,
MacBook Air charges, and then we have one in the house that several laptops use. And so this one
yeah,
is like always in here. So I know if this is in my bag, I can charge my laptop and I can hook it up to
yeah,
basically anything I would need to.
yeah. Man, this is gonna get so much easier when we get a USB-C iPhone.
I
Yeah,
know. I would love to get rid of everything Lightning. I really would.
yeah. The some more stuff I've got in mind. Um, this is a little notebook I carry around. It's called the Traveler's Notebook, and it's great because it's got little inserts so I can put travel documents and things I want. I usually load this up when I go on a trip, and I can just take notes in it. It's real
Hmm.
simple. Um, I already shared that. Let's see what else is down here. I've got a collection of face masks, you know, like everybody does.
Yep. I keep
Here's
finding
another
them.
thing.
I keep finding them in jackets, because it's cooler
Yeah,
weather here
like
now.
pocket.
And it
Yeah,
used to be you'd find like a $5 bill in a jacket, and now it's like, oh, here's an N95 I
yeah.
breathed into last year.
Yeah, it is. My favorite one is this one, which is Oregon Research.
Yes,
You can put little filters into it,
those are really good. I
and
like
it's
those.
very comfortable if you're into that. And this is when I go hang out in Batu. See,
Yep.
it kind of fits
Boba Fett.
the whole vibe. And but anyway, I wanted to show you this thing, which is another Waterfield product, and it's just a really cool glass case. I just love it. But you keep sunglasses in one side, and you flip it over, and these are my readings. These are my progressives, my fancy glasses.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, and you can beat the hell out of it, and it's magnets, and I like that. That's another thing when you go through security, they always ask you about. Um, what else I got in here? Okay, so I have. Well, this is one of my favorite things to have on me. It's just a little thumbstick that uses, and I believe SanDisk. Yeah, this is a SanDisk one, but it's got a lever on the top. If you go out one way, it's USB A. And if you go another way, it's USB C. I think it's 64 gigabytes. I don't even remember. I don't like permanently store data on here.
Mm-hmm.
One person told me that I should put an encrypted version of my 1Password database on here, so like the house caught on fire or whatever. But I use the version 1Password where that I can access that off the internet if I need. So I just kind of like keeping it blank so I can hand it to anybody and say, "Give me that file,"
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
give
I've
it to
got one
people
too.
you trust. Don't give it to people who are shady because they may have stuff on their computer. And then this is just a little, Leon who gave this to me. It's a little Sony lens cloth, but I find it good for your glasses and your lenses, whatever. I find lots of uses for that. Have you finished your bag?
All that's left is my MacBook Air.
Okay, wait 1 second. Let me see what else I've got in here. A little package of tissues, reading glasses. When you get older, reading glasses. These are just the cheap ones. I buy them by the dozen on Amazon.
Yeah.
And another old guy thing, little thing of pills, Advil, whatever. If you're on medications, just keep those with you. And then an Apple Pencil, of course. And that's it, man. Oh, this is new. This is a Star Wars thing. My wife gave it to me, so you can just like put a little light on your bag when
Oh,
you're
that's
walking
nice.
around at night. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I put it on there.
Yeah, I saw that earlier and I was like, that's too big to be an AirTag. I meant to ask you about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's just like, well, Daisy gave it to me, so I said, well, when we're get separated, you just look for the light you can find.
that's right.
Uh, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing, but it's kind of fun. I like it.
Yeah.
It's the Ahsoka Tano symbol. That's the name of my dog. So there we go.
Yeah, it's cool.
One other thing I thought I'd share, since this is somewhat related, is what's in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing. I use the little Peak Design. Um, this is like the Apple Wallet Peak Design version,
Mm-hmm.
where you can put a few cards and whatnot in here, but it's got a lid on it. You can cover with a magnet and it sticks to the back of your phone. That's cool. If I'm going out and I really want to be more careful, I use this wallet. And I forget the name of it, but we talked about this on Mac Power Users. But it's a wallet that you can put a AirTag
An
in.
AirTag in. Yeah.
And since we talked about it, I'm sorry I don't remember the manufacturer. We talked about it on the show. Several people bought them and hated them, and several people bought them and love them. So whatever.
Your
But
mileage may vary.
yeah, but it's just a nice wallet you can put that has an AirTag in it if you're going out and you're worried about losing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm around the house, actually, I always bring this with me, which is another pair of reading glasses. Again, you can get these off Amazon, and they fit in your pocket. And so I always keep those in my pocket because I just got to the point where I can't read anything without reading glasses on.
Yeah.
And then I'm a big fan of the Leatherman. I
Yep.
don't take this out usually. Usually I leave it when I leave the house because there's so many places you go anymore now that
Mm-hmm.
pull out a pocket knife. They, get down, Mr. President. They kind of put you down.
Yeah.
But it's a nice tool. I use it all day.
Yeah. I keep a Leatherman. It's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah,
In my truck, just to the left of the steering wheel, and so if I am working, in the garage and need a knife or something, or if I'm out and about
yeah,
doing something, it's always there in the truck. I used to
yeah,
carry a knife in my bag, but back when I was flying all the time, obviously that was no good. So I have a pocket knife I keep on my desk, and sometimes it'll end up in my pocket depending on what I'm doing, but I don't keep it in the bag anymore because it's like you said, it's just asking for trouble or asking for your knife to be taken by somebody
yeah,
working
yeah.
security, and I don't want that.
I was once going through the airport and I realized I had my mini Leatherman in my pocket. So I went out in front of the airport and I stuck it in the planter, like in the dirt.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked I didn't get like caught on camera and they, immediately arrest me for doing that. But then when I came back 2 days later, it was still there. So
That's cool.
not that I recommend you do that. I feel like that is a really good way to get arrested.
I've
But
I've done that for NBA games. Going into the arena here, there's metal
yeah,
detectors, and I just left my, just an accident, left my pocket knife in my pocket,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I realized it walking up to the arena, and I had parked like 3 blocks away, and so I just went
yeah,
out and kind of just like buried it under a bush, and
yeah,
um, came out and dug it up, and it was still there.
yeah. And then, the other stuff that goes in my bag is whatever else goes in my bag.
Hmm.
Quite often when we go out with the kids or my wife, whatever if I've got the bag, I'll put stuff in it,
Yeah.
and so, but this is all in here basically at all times.
Hmm.
So when I head out the door, it's already loaded up for me.
Yeah. And you're carrying an M2 MacBook Air as your portable machine now.
Yeah,
How's that
yeah,
going?
but not always. But not always. The 11-inch iPad Air is kind of an always for me because it's super light and depending on what I'm doing. If I'm going out to have fun, but I may do a little work, it's just the iPad Air. If I'm going out and I know I'm going to be doing work, then it's the M2.
Hmm.
And that's great. I mean, it's super light. You almost barely don't realize it's in there. It's awesome.
Yeah. In fact, I brought my backpack out here. It had been in the house from over the weekend. And I brought it. I was like, oh, I don't think my laptop's in it. And sure enough, it was because it's so small.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah,
If you saw the podcast on, you saw this, but I've got a neck sticker on mine. I
nice.
think there's something fun about having, the roots of so much of Apple's technology and software on their newest hardware. So I bought some of
Yeah,
these on, I think eBay. Some guy prints them and they're nicely
yeah,
done. And of course,
yeah,
it sits at like a 22-degree angle. So I had like a picture on my phone of the logo, like trying to get it
yeah,
right. But I'm a
yeah,
big fan of like one sticker kind of right in the middle. And so this laptop
yeah,
got a neck sticker. But yeah, I adore this machine. It's so great. And I really loved the 14. My wife is using it and really likes it. She likes the bigger screen. She was on an M1 MacBook Air, and this has been great for my needs because I've got a desktop here at work, and if I leave work, then I've got a notebook.
yeah. That's been my experience too. It does exactly what I need it to, and even more. Like
Yeah.
I have on occasion like done a little Final Cut project on it and
Hmm.
rendered it out. And granted, it takes longer than it does on my other stuff, but it's not that much
It
longer.
can
And
still totally do it, right? It's
yeah,
it's very
exactly.
impressive.
Yeah, this takes a little longer. And I have had my laptop plugged into my monitor. My 16-inch MacBook Pro is my main driver, and that's somewhat permanent now on my desk because the M2 is just fine when I'm
Hmm.
not sitting at my desk.
Yeah, I remember we talked a lot about that, about how you didn't want to carry what isn't a very expensive and also
Yeah,
large and heavy notebook with you all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
But yeah, the 14 or the 6-inch MacBook Pro, fantastic desktop replacements. I mean, honestly, you can get by with
yeah,
the MacBook Air as a desktop replacement as well, depending on
yeah,
your needs. Um, but you do have the option to take the 16 somewhere that if you had
yeah,
to, which
yeah,
you've kind of you've kind of done the best of both worlds. Like, yeah, two laptops is two laptops, but for me, like this is my portable computer, right? Because my desk has the Mac Studio on it, and so I can't easily take that somewhere. So if I'm going on a trip and I need to work on video or audio, I am just on the Air. But I've edited several shows on it, and it's been totally fine. Not as quick as the MacBook Pro, but still, the second or third fastest Mac I've ever had. So I can't really
yeah.
fault it when it's this thin and light.
Yeah, I had like a moment because I'm just getting settled in a new space, and I'm like, maybe I should have got the Mac Studio, but then I like you talked me off the ledge, and I feel like the for me it's just like nah. I still occasionally want to bring my production machine somewhere else,
Yeah,
and I like having that ability.
yeah.
But it's I'm really happy with my setup now. So I've got the little one that goes with me, and even just not out the door, but like if I want to go into the other room and sit at the kitchen table and do a little email work or whatever, you can do it. And the MacBook, as much as I like the iPad, the MacBook Air runs Keyboard Maestro and all my automation tools and
Hmm.
Apple Script. So I'm faster on it than I am on an iPad.
Yeah.
So for a lot of stuff, I'll just take it around, and I just always have it nearby. Unfortunately, I left mine upstairs, or I showed you, because I took it to bed last night. But I put a sticker on mine too. I put the Max Sparky Labs logo sticker, the colorful one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I love that little computer, and I just feel like ever since Apple started making Apple Silicon, the Mac has just been great. And if you listen to Mac Power users, you know that we talk about this stuff a lot, but Apple has really hit it out of the park, and they deserve praise for it.
Yeah, I remember with the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros last year, Jason Snell's review title was so good. It was like a Mac Pro in your bag.
Yeah,
And I was a Mac Pro owner at the time, so a little sad about the headline, but it's so clever. 'Cause Jason's very
Yeah.
good at that, but
Yeah.
so true as well. Like even the Air, I mean, what you can do in a notebook now is incredible, and that it's so
Yeah.
light that I carried it out here in my backpack, thinking, "Oh, did I
Mm.
leave it inside?" That says it all
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's still a great computer, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, David, thanks for joining me today. It's been a lot of fun.
My pleasure.
It's been
Sorry for the little technical thing at the beginning, but we're figuring it out.
That's how streaming always goes. There's no stream on the
Yeah.
internet that doesn't start with people running around hitting buttons. So
Yeah.
I'm honored to be your first production thing in the new studio.
Yeah,
And
thanks, man.
well, I guess
Yeah.
well, I guess we last week's MPU was recorded in there too. But
Yeah, we recorded that there too. But I
first
mean, this is
videos,
the first video. Yeah,
hmm
first video thing
yeah,
we've
and that
done.
wall,
And
man. It's I sent my my dad's a contractor, and I sent him a picture of your
yeah,
wall, and I was like, I love the way this looks, and he agreed. So
yeah.
you got some thumbs
Well,
up.
it's interesting. The stuff comes from Toronto, and it's they're little thin sheets of plywood. I think they're 6 inches by 2 feet,
Hmm.
and they've glued on pieces of walnut. But it's actual walnut, and they're different depths, so you get that look. And also, it
Yeah.
helps the audio because when the audio hits it, it doesn't just bounce back at
Right.
you. And then you can't really see, but I put little spotlights in the ceiling, so it kind of gives that a little bit of depth.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to hear about this, but it's been quite a journey getting this thing put together.
I understand that journey. So yeah, we're gonna get more into this stuff on the MPU that comes out on Sunday. So keep your
Yeah.
eyes out for that. And I'll talk to you later, David.